Hi everyone, in this video we are going to discuss how to deploy Blazor WebAssembly to AWS Amplify. So let's first discuss what is Blazor WebAssembly. Blazor WebAssembly is a single page applications framework for building interactive client-side web apps with .NET. Running .NET code inside a web browser is made possible by WebAssembly, and it is abbreviated as WASM. WebAssembly is a compact bytecode format optimized for fast download and maximum execution speed. Let's learn what is AWS Amplify. AWS Amplify is a collection of existing AWS services that is simply the process for developing scalable and secure web and mobile applications. It provides a suite of tools and services that streamline the complete development workflow, from front-end user interface creation through the back-end infrastructure management. It enables you to deploy your apps quickly, securely, and reliably in just few clicks. Using the AWS Content Delivery Network, which has hundreds of presence points throughout the world, making your applications highly available. What we will be build in this video? We are first in creating a simple Blazor WebAssembly applications running on .NET 9, and that will push the code into the GitHub repository, configuring the AWS Amplify, and we'll host the static file from Blazor WebAssembly. And also we made the continuous development to the AWS Amplify with the built-in cicd install. So to start that, the prerequisites are AWS account, even a free tier account is enough. .NET 9 SDK is installed, Git and CLI required, and also a GitHub account. So open the Visual Studio and search as the Blazor, and here we can see the Blazor WebAssembly standalone app. So click on next and choose your path, and let's rename as Blazor WASM app. Click on next, and it is .NET 9.0, and the configure HTTPS is fine, include sample pages, also let it fine, and click on create. So the application is ready, so let's run it and we'll see that how it behave on local. So now you can see that the application is running on the local, and the default Blazor WebAssembly app is running here. If this is the home page, and if you can click on the counter, so in the counter there is a button, so you can see that it is just we can count and incremental order it will count, and also the weather informations like one API is called in between, and the information is showing here. So this is the basic applications in the Blazor WebAssembly. So we need to host these applications into the AWS Amplify. So before we deploy into the AWS Amplify, we need to push this code into the GitHub repository first. So let's do that. So I'm using here in Visual Studio. I'll do directly push this WebAssembly code into the GitHub directly from here. So click on the add to source control and click on Git. And here I have the local Git repository is there. So let's say I put a new name, create new Git repository as Blazor WebAssembly. Let's I make as YT for YouTube, and visibility let be it as a public for now, and let create and post. So it will instantly post my changes into a GitHub repository, and it will create a new repository like the name that I have created, and it will post shortly. And here you can see that the branch is by default is selected as master. So let's move to our GitHub repository, and we'll see that if the repository is created or not, and all this code is posted or not. So now you can see that the Blazor WebAssembly app -yt is created, and if you can click it, and you can see that under the master branch all these files that are we see in the Visual Studio, so that is updated here. So the first step is completed to push the Blazor app into the GitHub repository. So the second step, first we need to go to the AWS Console, and we'll create a AWS Amplify. So this is the AWS Console. So search here as AWS Amplify. So here you can see that AWS Amplify, just click here. Since I am doing the first time of AWS Amplify, so you can see there is nothing is here. So click on the deploy on up button. And you can see that it is asking like the starting the building with Amplify from the different sources, like from the GitHub, Bitbucket, and code commit and GitLab, in where your project or repo is there. So it is just asking that. So for our case, it is on the GitHub. So just click on the GitHub and click on next. So it will asking the authorization from the GitHub account. So I'm choosing my account here. So the two-factor authentication it is asking. So on the GitHub I have already made the two-factor authentication, so that's why it is asking. So let's put that the authenticator code here. So now it is verifying. So let's click on authorize AWS Amplify. And it is asking the install the authorize to of the all repository. We don't require all repository, so only one repository I want. So just click on only one select repository, and the first repository that we have made, WebAssembly WASM of YT. So I have click here and install and authorize. So here you can see that it is asking add a repository and branch. So just click it, and though it is already we have authorized, so you can just click here, and the branch is for our case is the master. So just choose as it is and click on next. And you can see that it is asking the auto detect framework, so we don't need to do anything for now, and we can just click on the edit the YAML file, and you can see that this YAML file we need to have update that. So I have a YAML file already handy, so I'll put that and I will elaborate what is that. So this YAML file is basically dealing with the automatic CI/CD pipeline things. So first you can see that we have a version. So we have mentioned that what version we need to do, and then we can see that it is about the curl of this .NET install. So we are downloading the official .NET script, so that allows us to install the required .NET SDKs. And like the second is the chmod command, so it grants the permissions to execute the shell script with the file of extensions of sh. And we are next using the script file download and install the .NET 9 to the .NET 9 folder. And next, under the build command, we are going to publish the required Blazor static files with the configuration set and the output folder as release. And the required files to be hosted to the present on the release www root folder. So thus we are mentioning this directory as the base directory of artifacts. And this wildcard under the files will ensure that all the files and folders under the release www root folder will be deployed by the AWS Amplify. So everything in amplify.yml is looking fine now. So just click on the save button. So for this YAML file and all the details, I will share the blog link where you can find all the details. So for now, let's click on the save and click on next. Everything is looking fine, so just click on save and deploy. So now it is deploying. So you can see that it is already deployed. So here you can see that we have deployed, but it is the master is failed. So we need to have analyze of what the issue is that. So if you can click here, you can see that it is showing that your app will appear here once you complete your first deployment. So that means the deployment has some issue. So we need to check that. So let's click here and let's download here. And we'll analyze that the logs what the issue is that. So in this log we have found that it is asking for the .NET 7 install. So might be we are wrongly mentioned in somewhere in the YAML of .NET 7. So it should be .NET 9. So let's fix that and we'll deploy it again. So to do that, click on the hosting and click on the build settings and here you can see that the amplify.yml. So here we have wrongly mentioned as .NET 7, so it should be .NET 9. So click on edit and make us .NET 9, and everything looks fine, and let's save it. And let's come here and click here, and let's redeploy this version again. Now you can see that it is deploying. So there is three sections. One is for the provisioning, and the second section is the build, and the third section is the deploy. So once the provision is success, then the build is come, then the final one is the deploy. So the build is success now, so now it's deploying. So now the deployment also is success. So let's test that if we can add another link here, and we'll deploy into the GitHub repository, and we'll see that whether it is auto populate in the AWS Amplify and using the cicd pipeline, so it will automatically deploy or not. And click here on the nav menu.razor. So click here another div here. Let's import as a test link. So the nav link is same, so I'm just put as a name here as a test link, and let's run it and see it in the local how it behaves. So now you can see that the test link is appeared, and if I click it, so it is going to the same weather page because of the placeholder page I didn't change. So I just want to check that whether this link is come to our WebAssembly app or not. So if you can go to your WebAssembly app, so here you can see that we have only these three links, but the test link is not come. So let's post that into the GitHub repository again, and I will see that. So go to your GitHub changes, so just make us like the test link added. We have put a comment here, and let's comment all, and let's post it. So once you post it, so let's go to your GitHub repository, and we'll see that. So this is our GitHub repository, and let's refresh it. You can see that the test link is added, is come here, and here you can see that it automatically start the deploying, and if we can click it, we can see the deploying status here. You can see that whatever the commit message we have added, test link added, so that is also come. So now you can see that it is deployed. So go to your Blazor WebAssembly and reload this page. Now you can see that the new changes has been added. So like whenever we do the change anything in our code and push into the GitHub repository, then the cicd pipeline is automatically pop, and with the AWS Amplify and the GitHub repository, and it will deploy it automatically. And another most important feature of AWS Amplify about the previews. So let's discuss it. So click on the previews, and this is yet another AWS Amplify feature. It lets you the preview the change from the pull request before they are merged and deployed, and this allows to the team to perform the UI testing before the changes are merged. So let's look at how we can do that. So here you can see that the branch name is master and the preview status is disabled. So click on the edit setting, and let's click on the enabled, and let's confirm it. So to test the preview features, let's create another branch here, like so it is a master branch. So let's create another branch here, like the master dummy. Let's click a new branch here, like the master dummy, and create a new branch. And if you can go to the code, and let's create on the master dummy, So you can see that same code that is on the master, the same is the master dummy. So what we do here, like whenever we do the code push, any code push into the GitHub repository, then it will come to the master dummy, and in the master dummy we'll verify that if our UI is correct or not. So once it is correct, then we'll push that our code change into our original branch to the master. So that will the preview changes that will apply. So you can see that here it is warning that please make sure your repository is private for security purpose. Previews are disabled for public repository with the Amplify backend template. So we need to first do our repository as private to do the previews work. So let's do that first. Now the repository is private, so let's move to your AWS Amplify and click the preview section again. So let's move to your master dummy branch and let's add here a link as test link 3 and save it, and let's push this. And you can see that in the 7 seconds ago one file is there. So let's do a compare and pull request, push new code, we can do that. So let's just make us hello new code, and let's create a pull request. You can see now one is the PR1 is showing, so it is not like the directly the original PR that is merged into our master. So it is showing as a PR1, so that is for the preview one. So once this preview we can verify in our environment and we are sure that yes it is going good, then we should deploy into the master branch. So let's click here and we'll see that for the comparison between our the targeting to the master branch code and targeting to the the PR branch. So here our the original is a master, and if you can refresh it, you can see that it is like the link is up to the test link 2, and wherever we can see that another domain it is created like the PR domain. So let's click here. If you can click here, and here you can see that we have added one another is test link 3 is added. So in the original it is not the test link 2 only. So that is the benefits of that the preview. So in that the preview sections we can see that yes in our UI is everything is working now perfectly. If you can see that, then we'll push our final code change to the master. So in this way, if you can confirm that whatever the PR code changes that we have sent to the UI, so this seems fine, and we want to merge that code into the master, then we can do like we should go our master demo. So here some conflict is there, so let's resolve it. So let's choose as mark as resolved and commit the merge. Let's click on the review changes and okay, and click on the submit the review. Let's click here the merge pull request, confirm merge. So pull request is successfully merged and closed. Go to your code and you can see here the test link 3 is added. Go to your console again refresh it. You can see now the master is deploying. So once the deployment is complete, then we can see that the test link 3 should be here on the master link associated with that branch. So now the deployed is success. So let's go to here and refresh it. So now you can see the test link 3 has been added. So in this way we can beneficial like the preview features. First we create a dummy branch of our master branch, and we will push our code into a dummy branch, and once in the dummy branch peer domain we can verify that our UI changes is fine, then we can push our code change into the our master branch, so that we can avoid all these conflict or issue before we push over to our master branch. So that is the most beneficial of this AWS Amplify preview. Also the another features that we can see that we can add the custom domain. Also we can add the enable firewall protections, as well as we can connect a new branch as well from here as well. So that is the things. Also other features like the custom header and cache, environment variables, and rewrite and redirect, so we can add that. Also the secret key, as well as we can do like the monitoring, access logs, alarms, metrics, and also we can set the branch level settings and IAM roles level settings in that particular AWS Amplify app as well. So apart from this, the other features of AWS Amplify that offers the more than the just static web hosting. So it is capable of much more, such as hosting the full backend and managing the authentications with AWS Cognito, among the other things. So it also emails can be sent to notify to your Amplify applications when the build is status, redirect and rewrites, control of custom headers, variables and the custom environments, monitoring metrics and the dashboard, etc. With the AWS Amplify we can beneficial. So in this video we'll learn how to deploy the Blazor WebAssembly to AWS Amplify. We had created a sample Blazor WebAssembly applications which we had uploaded a new GitHub repository. Following that we created a AWS Amplify, to which we attached our new GitHub repository and built some build instructions to assist in publishing the necessary static Blazor artifacts. Also we see that how the preview features is work. We'll create a other dummy branch of that, and in the dummy branch whenever we push the code, and we'll see that when the preview peer domain is generated and we verify that, and once that is success, then we'll again create a peer to the master branch, and we'll see that the master batch changes. AWS Amplify then automatically hosts these files on globally available CDNs. Also we can do here, also we can manage the CDN as well. We also discovered that anytime a new change is committed to the main branch, the build process is initiated and the latest version of our Blazor applications is instantly deployed. So following that, we looked into a few other things such as custom domain management, pull request, reviews, and so on. So leave behind your valuable queries and suggestions in the comment sections. Also, if you think that this video helps you, so do not forget to share with your developer community. That's it for the video. Thanks for watching.